Listen to this. The real MVP in life is the mother or father who grew up in trauma, never healed from their trauma, had children, and had to raise children while they're never healed from their trauma. And then on top of it, they work hard to make sure they don't pour their trauma onto their children. Those are the real MVPs. And the reason why I say this is because there's tons of parents who children don't know the trauma and the experiences they've been through. Therefore, protecting the children from the experiences and the traumas that they've been through. I call them the real MVPs because they're the ones that are actually the curse breakers in their families. They're the ones that said, I'm no longer going to allow my children to suffer and go through the things I've been through. I may not tell you about your grandmother or your grandfather, but yet and still I've experienced things that you would never guess. Because I'm going to be honest, a lot of grandparents get older and act like they've been like this from day one. But in reality, a lot of grandparents were traumatic towards their children when they were parents. Now that they're grandparents, they tend to act like they never did anything, ultimately trying to get to heaven and canceling out anything that they've done to their children, which is usually very traumatic. The things they've said, the whoopings that were unnecessary, excessive. These are the things that we block out and we don't tell our children, but yet and still trying to raise our children with a great mentality opposed to what we experience. These are the real MVPs. These are the people who've learned how to block out their personal feelings and decided to make a conscious decision is about their children. These people, I want to give you your flowers, commend you, and tell you that you are the people that are going to move the culture forward because you're going to alleviate and diminish certain behaviors that was normal from the last generation that ain't normal no more. The way we speak to our children. They say there is death and life in the tongue, and the way that a lot of the last generation talk to their children is excessive to the point where it's extreme verbal abuse, whether it was physical abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse. These are the abuses that was kicked under the rug and not spoken about because of the fact that it was a normality. And today, the people that are actually not like that, even though they experienced, that's the people who are the true MVPs when it comes to parenting. I am one of them, and I want everyone to understand that I refuse to allow my children to go through what I've experienced. My back is full of arrows because I protected my family and my children so they don't have to experience the same trauma that I've experienced. For those who understand this, like, comment, and share this video. And don't let that go over your head.